In this video, I'm going to talk about Jim Haislop. He was a bodybuilder at the dawn of the golden era in the 1960s. He had a relatively short career. He stayed an amateur. He never officially turned pro, but he definitely could have. He was often compared to Steve Reeves. They kind of see him as the successor to Steve Reeves because of his symmetry and his physique. Just a really outstanding classic physique. But I'll tell you a little bit about him. He was from Florida. He was born in Florida in 1942, and then he started training at a very early age. And he actually entered his first contest in 1965 at the age of 23. And the first time he entered, he won. He became AAU Mr Florida in 1965, placed first in that competition. And in that same year, he also placed a very respectable third place in the AAU Mr USA competition. From 1966 through 1969, he just racked up a lot of wins. He ended up becoming Mr. USA, Mr. America, and then finally NABBA Mr Universe. And he retired after 1969. So he had a very short career, but he was featured in a lot of the magazines at the time, and definitely could have went on to become pro if he wanted to. There's no question about it. He's highly regarded as one of the best bodybuilders, even by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, his training method was pretty typical for the time. He trained 6 days out of the week, and then his sessions would run pretty long, often up to 3 hours. But this routine that I reviewed, it was one of his mass building routines. And because I work chest and back together, I stacked the two workouts. Now, you could either run the workout separately, just work chest, or just work back on a different day, or you could stack them together like I did. You could superset them, but I'll get into that in a little bit. I'll go through the routine. I was fairly impressed with it, and then we will examine what I liked about it and how I felt afterwards. Okay, so let's tackle the chest portion first. Now, what Jim liked to do is he often liked to work upper body and then lower body splits, meaning he would do upper body one day and then lower body the next day. So he would stack these upper body workouts together, which is kind of what I did. I just did chest and back. And what I would have preferred to have done was to superset the chest and back exercises. But on the day I went to the gym, it was fairly busy, so it kind of made bouncing back and forth kind of impossible. So I just ran the chest routine first, and then I did the back routine. But let's get into this. For chest, we've got 4 exercises here. Our first exercise is bench press. And every exercise except for the cable crossovers, he did 5 sets of 10 reps. So 10 reps, moderate rep range. It's not too high, it's not too low. So you can handle moderate weight. Now, the first mistake I made on the flat bench, the bench press, is I went a little too heavy. So it kind of burned me out early. So, I was kind of having to lighten up a bit more when I got to incline press. So you just want to be aware of that, because you are doing 5 sets of 10 reps. You want to truly go moderate and not too heavy. So the 10 rep range is fairly good. I often like to go a little bit higher, but you're also doing 5 sets. So a standard classic exercise, bench press to open it up. Then the second exercise is incline press, 5 sets, 10 reps. Next was decline pullovers, and I kind of cheated myself on these. I went a little too light. I grabbed a 40-pound dumbbell. A lot of people working in front of the dumbbells. I had never actually done decline pullovers before. I've always done them kind of where you get down horizontally, put your shoulders on the flat bench, and then just bring the dumbbell over. I actually like this exercise a lot because when you're on a decline bench, you're in a very natural position for the pullover. You feel the stretch very well. And I've always considered pullover almost more of a lat exercise than chest, but old school guys, they've often called the pullover the upper body squat because it just widens the torso. And so they often threw it in with chest day. Because I always work back and chest together, I was perfectly fine with this exercise. And like I said, I like doing the decline pullover. I enjoyed the exercise. You just want to do it on a decline bench, without the arms on it that hold the barbell. You just want a regular decline bench, and I'll post a picture of what I'm talking about. And then you finish your chest routine with cable crossovers, 5 sets, 15 to 20 reps. This is a fine standalone chest day if you just want to work chest. You might want to throw in a couple more exercises, but solid routine. I liked it. Cable crossovers, like I said, the exception, you go a little bit higher rep, 15 to 20 reps. So pretty solid routine. Now let's talk about the back. Okay, so the next portion was back, and you start with chins, 5 sets of 10 reps. Now, I consider chins versus pull-ups, I consider chins where you're using a underhand grip. And the reason I did this is because pull-downs is the next exercise, and I did lat pull downs with an overhand grip to the chest. So first of all, we have our chin ups, 5 sets, 10 reps, underhand grip, and then moved on to lat pull downs. Again, 5 sets, 10 reps, the 10 rep range. Both very good exercises. Then we have cable rows. I did seated cable rows because it didn't specify what type, so I just assumed it was seated cable rows. I don't think the variation would matter all that much, but I did them with the closer grip handle, 5 sets of 10 reps, and then you finish off with bent over barbell rows, 5 sets, 10 reps. Stacked with chest, this was a very good routine. I definitely felt like I got a decent workout from it. Pushing, some decent weight, moderate weight. The only thing I really messed up on this exercise is I would have done different. I would have lowered the weight on the first bench press exercise, and then I would have upped the weight on decline pullovers. But this was my first time doing this routine, so it may take a little bit of trial and error, for you to figure it out on which weight to use, so you're not going too heavy and you're not going too light. But overall, very good routine. Easy to see why he had such a good physique. And I just stacked these 2 workouts together, so he might have even been doing more on his upper body days. But this was an example of his mass building routine. 5 sets, 10 reps, from what I could tell, is a pretty effective range. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. You know, and I know that I ran a poll asking which workouts you know, you would prefer, and most people said the classic bodybuilding routines. So I wanted to give you one of these for my next video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do give this one a try, or you know, you look up Jim Hazelup, let me know what you think. Like I said, very impressive guy. I almost forgot, I need to give you his stats before I sign off here. When he was competing, he was 5'11" and around 210 pounds. So that is a very classic build. Just really great symmetry. So look him up, let me know what you think, and watch for the next video.